the ANC's national leadership visiting KwaZulu-Natal region, and as the party prepares for next year's general elections. Well, the National Executive Committee members, included in there the NWC, or what is usually called the National Working Committee, were deployed to various regions to engage with different constituencies in that province. The party's leadership is said to have been in KZN to also investigate the state of leadership in that province, with a focus on the National Schools Nutrition Program failures, among other issues of service delivery. Well, let's speak now to Dr. Zamo Mbandlwa, a political analyst, who is going to put us into picture about what should we read into this visit. Dr. Mbandlwa, thank you very much for your time. The ANC's top leadership spending the weekend in KZN to investigate, among other issues, service delivery failures, because that's what they are. It's the failures, and they have acknowledged them as such. How bad is the situation, do you think?
Good morning, Toli, and good morning to the viewers at home. Thank you for inviting me to talk about these critical issues that have been discussed lately. One must say, Toli, I'm not surprised that the NWC visited KZN. One is that the current Secretary General of the ANC is well experienced in the politics of the ANC. I think he understands the politics of the ANC more than anything else. Because he was groomed in the youth structures of the ANC, and now he's the Secretary General of the ANC. So in other words, whatever command or whatever political conflict that happens in the ANC, he takes it very seriously, and he also informs his colleagues that these are issues that are very critical and they require an urgent attention of the NWC. Now, the issues that were raised were actually based on the observation of many members or some members of the ANC in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, both in the politics of the ANC and also in government. And those actually who actually think that the ANC PC in KZN is failing, amongst them are the people that were actually contesting the provincial positions in the provincial conference of the ANC. So now, because they are not in the leadership positions, they think that those who are in the leadership position are failing. So it's them who believe that they can do much better than the current leadership of the ANC. But then the NEC took it very serious and then visited the province to understand the dynamics between the PC of the ANC in KZN and those who are calling for the disbandment of the ANC PC in KZN. Yeah. And based on the assessment that the NWC have made, they've then realized that those are the political issues that have been raised by those who are aggrieved, and it does not actually equate to disbandment of the ANC PEC. Simply because, Toli, remember, next year we will be embarking on the national and provincial government elections. Now, disbanding the ANC is the last thing that I think the NEC or NWC will actually consider. Yeah. Because currently the ANC do not enjoy the majority support nationwide. So now, if disbanding structures is the solution for them to balance the issues in the politics of the ANC, and then this will affect the operations of the political party and also in government. Now, what becomes more problematic, Toli, is that the ANC, I don't think changing leaders in the ANC will be a solution. Even those who are calling for the disbandment, they are not going to come with any change in the ANC. I think the problem is the political culture of ANC and of the country. Because politicians, by virtue of being elected as leaders in the politics of the ANC, they then have political interference in government structures and also in government operations. And whoever that is in the leadership positions of the PC on politics will directly have an influence in the operations of the government. Yeah. And now, what needs to be assessed is at what extent does politicians have authority and power in the operations of government, because now they are actually seen as people who have an oversight and also who have an upper hand power over the officials who are leading in government. This is why we actually had an issue of the nutrition in the province. Yeah.
Dr. Mbandlwa, here is an undeniable fact. In 2016, the KZN region, the eThekwini municipality, the ANC there had 56% of the vote. Come November 2011, that number whittled down to 42%. That's an undeniable fact that the ANC should be worried about why there has been such a decline. And remember, this is the ANC's biggest region in terms of voting numbers that it takes to conference. It's a massive, it has a massive support base in KZN. Again, I ask this question, that the factors that have led to this decline, surely the top leadership of the ANC has reason to worry about the state of service delivery in eThekwini. And you add to that the recent developments. Dr. Cassius Lubisi, the former DG in the presidency, is now sent to eThekwini in order to help there administratively. These are facts that clearly point to a worsening situation, does it not?
No, certainly. I fully agree with what you are saying. You know, it is an undisputed fact that the public service delivery is declining, and which also have a direct impact on the voter turnout, because people will actually not be involved in the elections where they think that the government is not representing them. Now, based on what you are saying now, in eThekwini, I actually conducted a study on what is the reason why people of eThekwini no longer interested to vote and no longer support the ANC. And I've presented a report to the former mayor, and to the former city manager. I provided the report, and in the report, I indicated that the ANC will not win elections in the local government elections of 2021. And I'm not sure whether that particular report was taken into account, or they assumed that they will lead until Jesus comes. Because the report was very clear, and amongst other things that I've actually cited in the report was that the characters of the leadership in the local government have a direct negative impact in the support of the population or the voters in the city of eThekwini. Now, that particular report was not actually taken into consideration, because if it was taken into account, I'm sure maybe the decline was not going to be witnessed in the 2021 local government elections.
Yeah.
But also, it is not only in the local government service delivery, only, even also in the provincial government level. There are people who have decided not to vote because they don't see the public service delivery. There's no improvement in their lives, and they think that voting for them is not making any difference. Mm-hmm. So therefore, they elected not to vote or to participate in the local government elections or in the provincial and national government elections. And even next year in the elections, I think those people will not see a reason for them to vote, because service delivery is not coming to them, but they keep voting, nothing is happening to them.
Yeah.
However, I think in many occasions, the government, when the elections are actually coming, they actually try to make sure that they service those who have been disgruntled and those who have not been receiving services. And I'm yet to see this happening even this year and early next year, so that those who might not have experienced the service delivery will also be experiencing such, for the sake of preparation for the government elections.
Let's wrap it up then. You, in your first response, belabored the whole issue of quarrels, or what is commonly referred to as factional battles within the ANC. If the leadership of the ANC ought to take responsibility for the failures that you and I have just spoken about, who should take accountability, therefore, should this picture worsen come the 2024 elections? Because 2024, it's going to be the national and provincial leadership elections. What happens when the picture gets worse in KZN?
I think the main problem now is leaders who are not there to serve the people who are there to serve themselves and their friends. I think that's where the problem is. And I think it's not only peculiar to KZN, across the country. And I think that is the starting point, to say, when people are being given a responsibility of leadership, what is it that they are going to contribute? What is their vision about the country, about this particular country? If they don't have a vision, then those people are there to just being managers, or they're just there to serve themselves and their immediate friends and families. So that's where the problem is. I think we have now reached a stage where people, when they are availing themselves to lead, whether in the government or in the ANC, they should come and present themselves. What is it that they want to do? Not just a mere manifesto, because half of the, not even half, I think 2/3 of the manifestos that are being presented by politicians are not delivered in government.
Yeah.
So then, a manifesto is not serving any purpose. People come with different ideas, big promises. They promise us a lot of things, but when they are in government, they actually deliver none, or even, or maybe not even a quarter of what they promised to deliver. So that's where the problem is. And now again, Oli, you have raised a very important point that should this continue even after next year's elections, what should be the way forward? I think we shouldn't expect miracles. We shouldn't expect any type of development. It should be as business as usual even after the elections next year. So whatever the politicians are saying they are going to improve or to implement, I don't see that happening, because the conditions remain the same. Despite what they have promised in the past, nothing is happening today. So what is it that will change after the next year elections? So I don't think there will be any development or any changes until we change the political system and those who are actually contesting positions in government. Look, for example, you have a mayor who only have matric, who passed matric in the city of Johannesburg, who have absolutely no understanding of the economics and economic development. So what do you expect? These are the things that are happening in our politics and in our country, which then give us an indication that those who are in the leadership position might not be in the same vision as we have as citizens of the country. So they might not have the same vision as us, and then they are there to take responsibilities and to take decisions on our behalf, and then we have to comply with whatever decision that they are making.
All right.
So this is the current position.
Dr. Zamo Mbandlwa, thank you very much for that analysis, the political analyst based in eThekwini.